Hello everyone, Lawrence James here again, and I'm going to be discussing the advantages of homeschooling versus public schooling. Has anyone ever heard of the Tim Tebow effect? If not, it is often referred to the difference in achievement of homeschool students versus public school students. There are many ways to educate students between kindergarten and 12th grade. Two competing ways in current debates include public schools versus homeschooling. The old school of thought suggested that public schooling was superior over homeschooling. However, I believe homeschooling is better suited for students, and here is why. This speech will cover why homeschool education is more beneficial for students. I will provide information that shows where homeschool students are either at the same level and even in other areas outperform public school students academically and emotionally. I will also address the myths around homeschooling, including against homeschooling and the pros and cons. Okay, my first point is my first point of homeschooling. Homeschool students are able to have more focused learning time that is adapted to their needs. For example, I'm a hands-on learner. This means I understand concepts when I'm first able to try them out physically. If a student is like me, they may not have the opportunity for tailored lessons in a public school setting, where in a homeschool setting they would. Elizabeth Danish writes that focused lessons allow a parent/instructor to focus on areas your child excels most in and finds more interesting. Point number two, with less pressure to accommodate and work with large classroom full of students, homeschool students usually have a single instructor to themselves. Having one-on-one attention helps students to increase the likelihood they will better understand the material. And then the homeschool population has shown growth over the last few years. With growth comes new learning opportunities for parents and enhanced learning through sharing tools and homeschooling groups. According to the National Home Education Research Institute, the homeschooling population is growing at an estimated rate of 2 to 8% every year. Students have shown that homeschool students tend to outperform their public school counterparts. For example, students taught at home generally perform better on standardized tests, in some cases up to 30 percentile points above the 50 percentile average for public school. And that's according to the National Home Education Research Institute also. But the results don't stop there. Students show that homeschool tend to also have higher college GPA as well. Where the average college GPA for incoming homeschool freshmen was 3.41, the average college GPA of public school freshmen is 3.12. Now, compared to the advantages of homeschooling, the alternative ways to educate children, parents can save critical dollars by sending their students to public school. Public school is provided at no cost to families, which can be a relief for cash-strapped families or families on a limited budget. But public schools provide a guaranteed free and appropriate education as required by Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. Public school students have a variety of opportunities to participate in social activities, from sports to music and other clubs. Okay, class sizes. Oftentimes public schools are well above the capacity they can hold. This causes teacher to student class ratios to be as much as one teacher to every 30 students or more, according to Marion Lewis, writing for Huffington Post. While homeschool students are under the care of their parents or instructor, it is usually a secure environment. Public schools, as of late, have been under heavy scrutiny for the lack of security for students, despite a 2015 report from the National Center for Educational Statistics, which stated that 94% of public schools reported that they control access to student buildings by locking or monitoring doors during school hours. We hear of school-related shootings often. There's a large body of research that opens the eyes of those opposed to the idea of homeschooling. I was once totally against the idea of not sending my future children to public school. However, a hard look at the facts shows that the many benefits of homeschooling, which tend to outweigh the costs. Homeschooling provides students with customized learning and individual one-on-one opportunities that is simply are not available in public schools. Recent extensive research supports these findings. Ultimately, it's a family decision on whether to homeschool their child or not. However, it is clear that compelling research in support of homeschooling should be taken into account while making that decision. And thank you.